Alright guys, so this is a first for me. I am recording a monster review before they come out. Now, you gotta go to Chinchilla Leaks if you want to see these before for yourself beforehand. This is the marathon monster that's coming out tomorrow. And I had no videos I could make, and I was like, you know what if I review him beforehand? Give myself an idea, give you all an idea. Man, that's one heck of a design. Khrilz isn't an abomination, but a species of abomination. These creatures can reproduce at untraceable speeds and move even faster to surround and attack their targets. So they're like how bees attack. You know how bees attack? How they all like swarm on a wasp and just kill it? Yeah. It doesn't really match his skill set, but you know. Light can disorient them and even eliminate them. But can Khrilz be killed as fast as they can reproduce? So, interesting lore. You know, I wonder if he'll become a breeding monster with lore that, like, implies he breeds that much. Khrilz is a dark attacker with area dodge, true vision, hellfire, and bleed skills. Alright, I like hellfire, and I like that true vision will keep it on them. And I love area dodge. Pretty much everyone says dodge area, so basically same thing. And this is his design. Let's see his skill set here. Claw of Doom deals heavy dark damage to one enemy, applies hellfire. Alright, Single deals moderate special damage to all, applies true vision. Okay, I like that. You know, you give yourself a true vision, you do some damage so that your next attack, probably with a dot, lands. There's a bird called Burb in the background. If you hear him crowing, that's just him talking to me. No Escape deals heavy special. Oh, so a lot like Clogor with the dark and special attacks. And oh, I really thought he was like fire and dark, but he's only dark, which is referenced in his lore when it says light can eliminate him, because we all know how powerful the light element is. Oh, and he's trying to survive in a light pierce meta as a dark abomination. Oof, you're gonna have a hard time getting this guy in PvP anyways. No Escape deals heavy special damage to one enemy, applies hellfire to one enemy. Alright, so heavy special damage, hellfire, then true vision. Really wish the true vision would come first, so that if you had blind, your damage is guaranteed to hit, and your hellfire is guaranteed to hit. But still good that you get it nonetheless. You'll probably start off with it anyways, since you'll usually start off with an AoE. And High Pitched Scream deals moderate dark damage to all enemies. So a dark AoE, you have a special AoE and a dark AoE, a heavy special, and a dark special, so you've really got it all. Applies bleed to all enemies, removes all negative status effects from itself, requires cooldowns. So I like that. This reminds me of Metal Beat, yep, that's his name, original mythic, who could attack and remove negative status effects from himself, which was a lot better than you'd think. You know, you're possessed or something like that, and you remove, maybe you have a ton of dots, which isn't a problem for this guy, as we'll get into. But yeah, so I really like his skill set. Even as a kind of basic attacker, I think his trait makes up for it. So first, let's talk about the cons. He's an abomination and a dark monster in a literal, and like, this is not even joking, in a light abomination hater meta. So that's even the reason why Konekra doesn't get used, because he's a dark dodge area monster, right? But it's a light meta, but it's specifically a light pierce meta, so they'll go through that and attack you anyways. But the kicker is, this guy right here, has abomination too, so he's also facing up against Serpentech's abomination hater and Serpentech's light damage when he's dark. So yeah, I don't know if you're gonna get to use him too much in PvP, as Serpentech is very popular. But in a scenario where no one has pierce, you don't really have to worry about that, because you have dodge area, one of the best traits in the game. Instantly puts you in viability for the meta. sad that he doesn't have a cleanse before attack since he doesn't have pierce or cold blood. But I think he still kind of makes up for it since he can cleanse off himself. He's got a good dot. He probably won't miss. So dodge area, AoEs won't hit you. They can't single target you. Now, I will say, with cold blood getting better, I think the value of dodge area is kind of diminishing. Like, obviously, it's never going to fall out of fashion, but it's not the big thing that it used to be. And, of course, we have immune to torture. So, immune to torture and dodge area, super promising traits. Abomination has some neat immunities like corruption, possession, bleed, and nightmares. But there's so many haters against abominations that it has to be counted as a con. So, I mean, I don't know how to feel about him. I feel like, oh, okay, here I can go over the, and I'm going to say beforehand, before looking at it, I think he's going to be one of those high stamina cost monsters. Because, like, those moves, heavy, special, heavy, moderate, that usually basic attackers have weirdly high stamina cost. Alright, so you have a moderate with bleed on a 0-turn cooldown. And then a low dark damage to all. And then a moderate dark. Removes all negative status effects. I would say run that if it had 0 cooldown, but it has 2-turn cooldown. And then your normal moves have 1-turn cooldown, 1-turn cooldown, so... Ooh, your heavy dark has a 1-turn cooldown, that's what you like to see. And then your moderate special with the true vision is a 1-turn cooldown, although, yeah, 36, 34 stamina cost, that's like the middle, right? That's about what you expect. Then his heavy special has a 2-turn cooldown, which is a bit heavier, but it's fine. Stamina cost a little bit more since, you know, he does a dot and a positive effect and damage. I really would love to know how stamina cost is calculated. Like, if it's a real system or if they're just like, yeah, and this move will have 30 and this will have 40. I really want to know what goes into that. And then, sadly, your moderate AoE, which has bleed, doesn't even have hellfires at all, which I'm kind of disappointed about, is on a 3-turn cooldown. And for those of you guys who play Rank Up Survival Dungeon, I'm playing with ranking up Phase Rug, and those 3-turn cooldowns are really stiff on AoEs because you like monsters like Cherub Cupid who can go in and boom, AoE, boom, AoE, boom, AoE, and all the enemies are dead. Not so much here. Although you do have it on a 1-turn cooldown, but actually, you know what? Since it's a 1-turn cooldown and special damage, you don't really need this one as much, but this one cleanses. And then his finisher is just like Prospero the Great's, where it kind of leads you on if you just read the finisher to think he'd have Pierce, but he doesn't. Because it applies Pierce, there's heavy dark damage to all, applies Hellfire, which he doesn't have a Hellfire AoE except for in his finisher. That's kind of like a scam, but, you know, I can forgive it. And then removes Pierce. So it's just like Lord Nabodus's, where it gives a good monster something really OP, and then takes it back. So in my opinion, get this monster. I am going to love using him in war. He's a rank 1 area abomination and rank 3 immune to torture. I think those are really good traits. And overall, like, I mean, obviously he's not going to last as long as the light meta is. It is just so powerful that it's ridiculous. So he might never really have a big place in the meta, but in my opinion, he looks like he's going to be a really fun monster to play around with. He might not be like the most meta ever, but I like his mechanics and I like the design and everything. And if you've seen my videos on my channel, if I like your design or your mechanics and I think they're fun, I'm going to enjoy the monster, and I think that's what's important. So definitely pick up this monster. I think it's going to be worth the racing for quite a bit. And yeah, that's about it for this video. My first review before a monster comes out ever. If you want to see more of this, if you think this was helpful, if I went over it thoroughly enough, leave a like, you know, support the video. If I get 5 likes, then I'll consider doing another one of these next time for the Tails monster. Subscribe to join the Crab Army. We are at 111 subscribers, big numbers, and I would love to see where we go next. We're, you know, only going up, really. And What's that third one? Oh yeah, leave your thoughts and comments about him down in the comments below. Are you gonna get him? Are you gonna invest in him? Excuse me. Are you gonna invest in him? Do you think he's good enough, or do you think that the abomination and dark and light pierce abomination hater meta kills his chances at winning? You tell me. And yeah, that's about it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you have a great day. Hope you consider subscribing. Your favorite Omni-Crab signing out.